Tell me when y'all are ready. Everybody ready? Okay, there have been some developments during the night. We now have evidence that these escapees stole a 2008 white-colored Ford F-250 pickup truck. The tag number on the vehicle is B as in boy, C as in Charles, X as in X-ray, 5372. This is an older model Ford truck. It's a work truck, so it's not in pristine condition. We know it has damage to the right rear quarter panel area. The trailer hitch in some manner has been cut with a torch, and it has toolboxes not behind the truck, but on each side of the bed of the truck, running down each side. This was stolen from a business approximately 9 miles east of here, just off I-20. We are still looking for the green Honda, but we desperately need the public's help in finding both of these vehicles. Obviously, we think they may well be in the truck at this time. I want to also tell you that the reward for the apprehension of both of these individuals now stands at $90,000. This reward is a joint effort of the FBI, the Georgia Department of Corrections, the United States Marshal Service, the Putnam County Sheriff's Office, the Butts County Sheriff's Office, the Spalding County Sheriff's Office, the Georgia Sheriff's Association, and the Fraternal Order of Police. That's $90,000 for the apprehension of both of these individuals. That's the latest we have. If something else that's pertinent and beneficial, I'll bring it to you as soon as possible.
Sheriff, has that white truck been spotted anywhere?
It has not been spotted. We know it was taken sometime between 6 o'clock yesterday evening and 6 o'clock this morning.
What about the car, sir?
We have still not found the car.
Is there a pond at that rock quarry?
No, there is not. Not one that this car would be.
Given that they took this truck around 6 or 7 o'clock.
We don't know 6 or 7 o'clock. Sometime between 6 o'clock yesterday evening and 6 o'clock this morning.
So you believe that they are still in the area or have fled somewhere?
My professional opinion is they probably are not in the area, but I couldn't guarantee that.
Is this frustrating, Sheriff?
Yes, ma'am. It's very frustrating. 2 corrections officers have been murdered. Very frustrating.
Sheriff,
have you assumed they're both in the same truck now, or?
Obviously, it's a possibility that they've split up, and that's why we want to stress we're still looking for both of these. I don't know.
Your greatest concern about 2 inmates who were serving 1 life sentence, 120 years, possibly still armed, and maybe have a sense that they have nothing to lose. What's your fear?
They've just murdered 2 corrections officers in a brutal fashion. They're not concerned with anything regarding human life.
And what does that mean to the general public?
They're dangerous criminals, and we need the public's help in locating these vehicles and locating these individuals.
How do you link the truck to those inmates?
That's an evidentiary matter that we're not going to elaborate on.
Sheriff, how big is the search effort? Can you tell us how many agencies, how many people?
It's nationwide. We're pushing this information out. This went out to law enforcement all over the nation just maybe 30 minutes before it went out to you. Okay. Again, the FBI, the Department of Corrections, the GBI, the United States Marshal Service, every sheriff in the state is calling me.
Was that a confirmed sighting at the Family Dollar yesterday?
No, ma'am, it was not. I want to stress to you, it was not.
What kind of weapons, Sheriff, are they supposed to be?
We know for a fact that they have or did have 2 9mm Glock pistols.
Sir, I would think that things would be desperate for them to try and operate a society without money. Do you know whether they stolen money or how they're getting by?
You know, I assume that they've acquired some money some way. We don't know that this wasn't planned. They might have had some money stashed somewhere, left for them at a certain location. We don't know that.
Or help from the outside?
It's possible. We don't know. We don't know. I'm not saying that they did, but we don't know that they didn't. You know, obviously criminals, you know, I've worked fugitive many years. When they're on escape, you know, they get money. They have to have money, or they've got to steal things to move on. Obviously, they're doing pretty good. They've stolen 2 vehicles in the last 30 hours. So obviously they've got to have gas and things. So I assume they've acquired some money somewhere. We know of no money missing in the burglary yesterday, but you know, there could have been money taken that hadn't even been reported yet, especially in a burglary or an entering auto.
Sheriff, how do you think DeVos is concealing himself with that tattoo that's so identified?
I find it quite incredible, and I stress to you, I know we've sent out multiple images of these people as this investigation is proceeded, but please utilize those most recent photographs that have the crowns above each eyebrow on DeVos.
Has
Have
the family of
you
these guys been
reconsidered
contacted?
releasing the video, some of the video?
No, I will not.
Have the families of these individuals been contacted? Have they said anything about their possible whereabouts?
Marshals, sheriffs, agents have been contacting family and friends ever since we identified these people, and that still goes on today, and it goes on nationwide.
Do you have roadblocks set up anywhere?
We do not have roadblocks set up anywhere now. We did last night.
What was the circumstances surrounding the stolen truck? Was it a carjacking? Do you
No,
know?
the stolen truck, this was a closed business about 9 miles, an industrial site. This truck was used on that site. It wasn't even used off the roadway. The business closed at 6 o'clock. And it opened up again this morning at 6 a.m. and one of the first things they discovered, the truck was gone.
Do they have any surveillance video at that business?
No, ma'am, it's not that type of establishment that
Did
would
the
have
owners
it.
have any idea, Sheriff, how much gas might have been in that truck at the time?
I don't know that, but I just don't know. That I doubt it was something they knew. There was fuel on site. It's possible they could have even refueled it there.
They didn't break into the business there to get keys?
No, I'm sure it was left in it. This is a rock quarry type place. It's not the gate is secured or at least closed at night.
Is
You
there
don't
anything else
believe
you
though
can
that
share
they're
about?
still in this county or in
I cannot tell you they're not in this county. I would imagine, and it'd be my professional experience, that they have moved on.
Sheriff,
Any
anything
updates
else you
from
can
the
tell us
grieving
about what
family?
happened on the bus yesterday and how they
No, ma'am.
managed to do
No, you know, they overpowered. They got out of the locked enclosure. They overpowered the personnel on the bus. They took the weapons. I don't know if they took it from 1 or 2. I have seen this video. I've not seen it in great detail. I've only watched it on my phone. And both of the officers were shot.
Was the gate definitely locked?
I do not know. Obviously not if they got out.
One question about the gun. There was some confusion yesterday. Was it a 40 caliber or 9 millimeter?
I did not, initially I probably reported 40 caliber. I did not know that the Georgia Department of Correction has changed now back to 9 millimeter.
So they both have 9 mm.
Yes, at least that's what they did have.
But, you know, the other question too is, did they take ammunition from the officers?
These are high capacity magazines on these guns, 16, 17 shots apiece. They certainly didn't utilize all the ammunition, and they could have taken some additional ammunition. I do not know.
Is there
Sheriff,
video
do you have
from the
any
Family
updates from-
Dollar at all?
Pardon me?
The Family Dollar?
That store did not have video, and we're not confirming that that was them.
Any updates from the grieving families?
You need to speak with the Department of Corrections on that. I don't know.
What if
Sheriff,
phone
when you
calls-
talk about operations here with this much manpower, how long do you all plan to stay here till you get a sighting?
I can't answer that, but we might move in 30 minutes. We might shut this down. The FBI's mobile command center, we've got a lot of analysts in there doing things. But there are things going on everywhere.
If I could direct that question to the Department of Corrections, how are the officers' families doing? And will you be able to release photographs of both officers to the media?
The families are struggling just like you would expect they would be. They're taking this very hard, just as we are. As far as releasing the photos, we're going to leave that up to the family. If they tell us that they're okay with that, that's something we'll consider doing, but we're going to make sure that they're happy with that
Do
decision.
they in
talk
any
about
way feel
changes?
that they're threatened themselves, or is there any reason to provide security to them other than to maybe keep the media away?
No, we don't feel like they're in any type of danger, but we are supporting them in any needs they may have right now to make it easier on them.
Can you talk about changes that may or may not have been made to the way you transport prisoners? Apparently we saw some prisoner transport buses that did have police escorts. Has any change been made?
It's way too early for that. We're still investigating everything that went on the bus that day.
Can you identify yourself too, please?
Ricky Myrick, I'm the Assistant Commissioner for the Georgia Department of Corrections.
Will you spell your last name?
M-Y-R-I-C-K.
Ricky, is there any chance that we might get better photos from you guys of the victims?
Of the victims, as I just said, we'll talk to the family about that, and if they're comfortable with that, we don't mind providing them, but I want to make sure they're okay with that.
The Sheriff, can you talk to us about the number of police officers and agencies that you go through the list for us?
Well, it's virtually every law enforcement agency in this state. Now, here on site actively, it's been obviously my office, the Morgan County Sheriff's Office, local Madison Police, the FBI, the GBI, the United States Marshal Service, Department of Corrections, and the State Patrol. That's primarily the Department of Natural Resources too. Those have been the agencies that have primarily been responding here in Putnam and Morgan counties. But I stress to you, I've spoken with sheriffs in Virginia, law enforcement officers in Texas, and this is a very fluid, nationwide investigation by all aspects of the law enforcement community.
Any estimates as to how many leads you've actively checked out since this started? Hundreds, dozens?
Probably 100 or more at least.
Would that be like sightings?
No, sir. Somebody calls in, tells us something, we follow up on it. Sometimes it's a sighting, sometimes it's eliminated on its face. You know, they can't be in California if we know they were at the rock quarry.
You
So
think
right
those
now only
tattoos on the
two-
face would be actually really helpful?
And that's why I'm stressing that y'all utilize the latest photograph that has the tattoos on Dubose above both eyes. He's got them on his neck. He has ghost on this finger, and face on this finger
He's
of his
literally a
right
marked
hand.
man.
Yes, he's very much a marked man.
So only 2 sightings are confirmed, Sheriff, the break-in at the house?
We don't have sightings there, but we know they did that because of evidence left behind.
Is it a possibility they took weapons from that home or knives or
No,
any
ma'am,
other
there's
sort?
nothing of that. Well, they could have taken knives, but I mean, there's no report of any firearms being taken there. They're well armed now.
Sheriff, what can you tell us about what was at the business that let you know it was them?
We have some tracks and footprints and things like that that lets us know it's them.
Director Meyer, can you talk about that these 2 men know each other in prison?
Yes, they
have
did.
a relationship in prison?
They had been cellmates before. Yes, sir. They had been cellmates before inside our facility, so they had known each other quite a while.
There's a possibility that they had this plan together?
Yes,
Although they
that
did
is a
not know-
possibility.
They did not know they were being moved yesterday?
Correct.
Why were they being moved?
Normal transfers with our department. We randomly transfer inmates so they don't get too familiar with their surroundings for medical reasons, any type of reasons like that that facilitate where they need to be.
Was that a medical transport?
No, it was not.
The question of getting more at that, they were being transferred to a diagnostic facility is what we
Our
understand.
diagnostic facility is also a hub for our transfers. If inmates are going out to court or other things, they will travel through there first and be assessed for their needs and where they need to be housed permanently.
Were these 2 guys being moved to a different facility in the end? Is that
I'm sure if they were or not. I don't know if they were going for a court appointment, a medical appointment, or a new assignment of a facility.
Every day, all over the state of Georgia, prisoners are being picked up, transferred by DOC and sheriffs every day, 24 hours a day, picked up for court, being apprehended in one end of the state, transported back to the agency. This goes on thousands of miles every day. The public doesn't even know it.
Have you gone in and looked at their cells and found anything that's useful?
We've searched their cells, and anything found has been turned over to the sheriff.
Anything useful, Sheriff?
We're following up on people who've contacted them and visitation and things like that. That's what you do.
Can you give me again, what is the mileage difference between the home where we believe they
About 9 miles.
from that to the truck is
Yes,
about
sir.
9 miles, and then to the Family Dollar, which I know we don't do
It's only less than 2,000 yards from the burglary of the home to the Family Dollar. But
And you would say then that both of those locations are about 30 miles from the scene of the crime? Roughly.
or closer.
I noticed sniffing dogs yesterday. Do you believe they're on foot at any point, and that's why you had the dogs out?
Yes. Yes.
Commissioner, are both of these inmates from Baldwin State Prison?
They were housed at Baldwin State Prison at one time.
Were they at the time that this incident happened?
Yes, sir. Yesterday morning they left Baldwin State Prison together on that
Did
trip.
they went to Hancock State Prison?
Went to Hancock State
Then they
Prison.
were bound to Jackson?
Correct.
Were
Did
they
either of
current
these
cellmates?
guys have a
Yes, they
cell
were.
phone that was illegal?
Not that we know of.
Sir, as their records within the prison system, were they problem prisoners? Were they inmates that got along well with the system? What is the, when you go back and examine their records?
They were typical inmates for their security level, which was a close security inmate in our facility. I'm going to leave everything else to part of the investigation the sheriff's running for us.
These are recidivist violent criminals, both of them. One's doing life without parole. They are the typical criminal in the state of Georgia who's been convicted time and time again. That's what they are.
So they were high security, you're saying?
I don't know what they
Close
classify.
security.
Close.
To clarify, you said they were cellmates?
Yes, they were.
They were cellmates as of just a few days ago.
They had been previously, and they were cellmates at Baldwin, I believe.
Okay.
And Sheriff, are you currently actively searching any areas right now?
No specific area. Obviously, we're concentrating on looking at the area where the truck was stolen, looking for, not that we think that they're still there, but looking for evidence that may have been left behind.
Rick, did you say they were cellmates in Baldwin or at Hancock?
I'm not sure exactly everywhere they've been cellmates before, but because they've been cellmates more than once.
But they were last at
They
Baldwin.
were last housed at Baldwin State Prison in Millersville.
Anything else? All right, we'll talk to you when we know something new.